All right, everybody, please bring the hype, bring the love. Big Scared is here with you, here with us for Resident Evil Village Shadows of Rose.
Hey, hi, hello. I'm Big Scared. I'm a queer variety caster here on Twitch. I play a lot of scary games and I speedrun a lot of scary games. Shadows of Rose is one that I've picked up this past year. It's the story DLC for Resident Evil Village. For those of you who are not Resident Evil stans, this is the 8th one in the series that's numbered, Resident Evil 8. It stars Rose Winters, the daughter of Ethan, who's the star of 8. We'll get into that more as we go. Anyways, we're going to get started here. Time will begin when I click in here on difficulty, so I'm going to count it down from 3, 2, 1. Let's jam.
Cowboy, I wasn't ready for the Cowboy Bebop reference, but let's go. Let's go.
They never are. All right. So I mentioned this is starring Rose Winters. In terms of where this is in the storyline, this is 19 years after the events of the main game. So we are in the contemporary / future compared to previous moments in the storyline. That's not super important. Where we are is inside some mold. Don't ask, it's complicated, and it's far too silly to explain on such a grand stage. We have to go find a crystal inside the mold here in order to get rid of our magical girl mold powers. And if you're wondering why we want to do that, it's because it makes us different, and that makes us sad. And so we gotta fix that, right?
By magical girl mold powers, do we mean like emphysema or
What is this?
Well, at this point, I guess she's mostly just a little clammy in the hands sometimes, and she feels awkward about it.
Okay.
But spoilers, on our journey to cure ourselves of our clammy hands and our nervous energy, we're going to be getting some power-ups and embracing our magical mold girl powers. We're going to be doing some really cool things throughout the run, and I hope you are excited to discover what our abilities are, because at this point, Rose doesn't even know what they are.
Excellent. Embrace the mold.
Yes.
Become one with the mold. Do not
We're
do
gonna
this
be
IRL. Only
We're gonna be a little musky tonight, gamers, but that's all right. It's for narrative reasons. Don't mind that. That's just some funk. We'll talk about the goo later when it becomes more important. But for now, we have a key. You might notice that we're in a dungeon of sorts. Folks who are familiar with the main game might recognize this as Lady D's dungeon. Yes, we are in Castle Dimitrescu. I'm gonna disappoint every sapphic person in the room. I'm so sorry, she's not here today. But there are some cool people I would like to introduce you to in the meantime. The name of the DLC might allude to some of them. They may or may not be known as Shadows of Rose. Here's one right here. She looks just like us, except she's wearing this cool dress. How do we feel about that, Sporadic?
You know, I don't know. I feel like we're more interested in the mold right now than we're interested in evening wear. So unless the evening wear is made of mold, we can take it or leave it.
Well, you know, yes, is gonna be my response to that. It's complicated, and yes. And I will give a special shout out to the coat that I'm wearing right now. That's my dad, Ethan Winters' coat. Folks who remember the main game might remember that the sleeve gets cut off and reattached with magical mold syrup. So, like, I don't know what's going on with the fashion in this game.
You're in a situationship with the fashion.
Yes, correct. We're also going to, folks who are squeamish, encounter some more Shadows of Rose. These ones aren't looking too well. I'm very sorry. They're having a bad time, but we're gonna get out of here soon enough. Don't worry about it. Allergies, am I right?
Did that really?
All right, we've got our lever. which means we can actually do some progression. And the fun thing about having our lever is that when we use it, Rose will spontaneously remember how to run. And that will actually get us gaming, gamers. I know you were here for a speed run. She's been trotting this whole time. I hope you're excited as I am.
Out of the speed walk section and into the speed running section.
Yes. Now, we have to wait for this gate to open, so if there's anything you would like to share with the audience, now's a phenomenal time.
I would really like to remind the audience that we still have that bid war going for one of the very next games coming up. Well, it's not the next one, but it's the one afterwards. The Fear the Spotlight. To choose your character. Let me just give a little update here. Oh, Amy is in a very healthy lead now at $95. Vivian's chapter trailing behind. This will, in fact, select the chapter that is played in the speedrun. Again, Vivian is the physical horror chapter, and Amy's the psychological horror chapter. So psychological horror is in a very healthy lead right now.
Oh, I'm so excited for that run. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to be on commentary for Kasaki's run later on tonight.
Oh, fantastic. Which one is your preferred chapter? Do you have one?
So if you look on speedrun.com, you'll notice that I only run one of the 2 chapters currently because the Amy chapter is so scary that it gives me the anxiety. And so Kasaki is so brave for offering that as one of the choice options tonight. If it were me, I would have only offered Vivian.
All right, so you heard it here. We need Vivian. We need Vivian to catch up. Unless you want to be really, really scared, then keep getting those donations in for Amy.
All right, we're running around. You might notice that the goo is rising. Unfortunately, we will have to contend with the goo in a wide variety of ways. The first is what we're doing right now, simple navigation around it, because if we get caught up in it, it gets stuck on our shoes, and it's a lot like gum on the street. It's gross, it slows us down, sticks us down. We don't want that to happen. But there are other points when we will be strategically utilizing the goo for our benefit, because it's faster to trudge through it than try to circumnavigate it.
They're gone.
But in the meantime, we have a simple mission. You might notice a very classy statue that we walked by. That is missing 3 masks for its protagonists. I'm going to refer to them as just beautiful sculpture work. They need their masks, and we have to find them. There's bronze, silver, and gold. I'll be collecting them out of order just because it's faster that way. But I want to introduce you to the star of the show, the Bolt Cutters, Resident Evil protagonist, my favorite. I feel like they're in every game, and they're beautiful.
I was gonna say there's lots of molds, so you want to be sure to mask up. Even the statue needs to mask up.
Yes! Social distancing is still fashionable, gamers.
Be safe.
All right, there's one of our masks. We can't get it yet because we don't have the magical girl power we need to access it. And so we have to go get some power-ups. We're realizing we're not strong enough to do the thing we're here to do. And so we're going to go wander around a little bit and collect some items in hopes that that does that thing. There's some goo in this room. If you are a brave person, you could try to run through that. And if you have the tenacity to reset, maybe 9 out of 10 runs, that might save you 2 seconds. So we're just going to go around, and we're going to clear out this room so that way it's safer on our way back through. Because fun fact, non-strategic deaths for this category make the run invalid. And so we're trying to avoid that. I also mentioned that we're going to strategically utilize the goo. This is one of the rooms where we're going to do that. You'll notice there's a ladder, and then there's some lovely yellow paint on the opposite side of the room that shows us where to go. I'm going to ignore that. I'm just going to walk right through it. Because it is slightly faster just to do that. But don't dawdle. It can and will hurt you if you stay too long.
It seemed very happy to see you.
You could say it was thrilled.
Animated.
All right, our first power-up is up here in this attic. It gives us the ability to burst the mold cores. You might notice the little flower-looking things with bulbs in the middle of them. We will be able to pop those. And that will give us the ability to traverse to new areas. It'll give us access to new doors. Sometimes it'll give us items that we can use, like these bullets right here that I'm going to pick up. But we are well on our way to becoming the moldiest girl in town.
You know, everybody has a dream.
All right.
If I can't get around it, I need to get rid of it.
You might think zombies are scary, right? I'm gonna show you something very silly. If I just crouch right here, this zombie that's gonna burst through this door it's just gonna high-five me and let me walk by. Thanks, buddy.
Like getting your cat's help with a workout.
Right?
It's like right next to the door. You're gonna get that high five.
Thanks, bro. Don't touch me. Hey, you're rude. Thank you. I'm gonna shoot one here, so that way these two don't grab me. You tried it. Alright, and we're on our way. So now that we have the ability to disrupt these mold cores, we can access not only the mask in the courtyard, but we're gonna clear some shortcuts for later on. And then I'm gonna go inside and do some light puzzling. So we're gonna be doing some running around, which means this is a great time for any announcements. If there's donations that come in, anything you want to share with chat, it's the best time.
Yes, well, we've had a very generous donation of $45 from an anonymous donor with no comment, just generosity. Thank you very, very much. That one went towards our King's Quest 6 musical skips incentive, which I do believe means that it is now met. I'm gonna make sure over there. I'm gonna bounce right over. And yes, indeed, we have met that. We are going to be hearing the 90s love ballad. Thank you very, very much, Anon, for your generosity, for meeting that incentive. That one also went towards our bid war, our chapter bid war here. Let me see who got the donation. Oh my gosh, it's neck and neck. At this point, Amy at $95 and Vivian at $95. Anybody could take it. Anybody could take it. That donation also put us over $1,400 raised. In fact, we are at $1,440 raised for True Colors United. Thank you so much.
Gaming. Iconic. Thank you, everyone. So we're about to pick up our next power-up ability, which is effectively a stun. It will use one of those pips that are now appearing on the bottom right, and for every one of those it consumes, it does like a mold blast. But I'm not going to use it yet. We're just going to dispatch with bullets because it's both faster and more effective. We want to save these pips. They're very important. I'm also going to grab this white herb here on the floor because that's how I refill my pips. Now, I don't know why the white herb gives me mold powers, but we're just gonna trust it because it's Resident Evil. The herbs have always been our friends.
True.
Now, I've got one of two very important keys. This one is the monocular key, the single eye key. We're gonna eventually get a triocular key. It's a three-eyed key. These will let us navigate the castle. They will also allow us to expand our weaponry a little bit. Spoiler alert, we will be getting a shotgun, which is my best friend in this run. You might also notice that I'm not stair skating, and that's because Rose doesn't have the same animation mechanics that most other Resident Evil protagonists do. So if you're familiar with like Resident Evil 2 Remake or 3 Remake, you might notice folks using the aim button to strategically move faster. That doesn't work with Rose. In fact, that actually makes her a little bit slower. So we don't do that. But we are going to scoot right on in here. We're going to use the monocular key, and we are going to do some puzzling.
You're quite the tricky rabbit to live.
I know it's a horror game, but I still wasn't ready for that thing to drop down.
Did it startle you or did it make you laugh? Because I chuckle every time.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hi there.
Listen, we're all just hanging out in here together. We're vibing. Some of us are dropping in to donate to True Colors United. That's all we can ask for here. All right, we're set up. I'm galvanized. I'm ready. Hopefully, if I did this right, I'm just going to fall through this door that's opening underneath my feet. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to focus up a little bit in this room because we're going to encounter the first major enemy. We got a glimpse of him as I was coming through the monocular door earlier. I like to refer to this enemy as Big Boy because he is quite large. But also because he doesn't really have a good name otherwise. I think they call him something like the Abomination. He will be our first boss, but not yet. Let me just say hi. Hey, don't yell at me. It's Pride Month. Get out of the way. Alright, we're gonna clear the path. Don't you start with me. Perfect. As long as this guy behaves. He tried it. Alright, that was a beautiful sequence. We're gonna get a pipe bomb in here. It will become useful in our first boss fight. We're gonna get our first mask. You'll notice I picked up silver first. We're gonna grab bronze on our way back through the courtyard because I did make it accessible. And then we're gonna grab gold last. You get out of the way, thank you. Alright, this room is always a little bit stinky. But trust me, I know in advance I'm gonna get stuck on this dude's butt. It is completely consensual, don't worry about it.
It's Pride Month.
And we're out of here. Beautiful.
Did we find out who the Sir Creeps-a-Lot, Baron von Creepenstein voice is talking to us over the...
Yes. So, for those of you who played the main game, you might recognize that voice as the Duke. He is the merchant of the main game, but because we're in the mold crystal dimension, I do have to inform you all that that's not really the Duke. That's like a memory of the Duke that an evil character had one time, and then she remembered it a little bit too close to the mold thing that remembers everything. And so that's the version we have to deal with. It's not really him. It's a much meaner, much more twisted version of him. He doesn't want to sell us things. He wants to have us be pulled apart by zombies, and I just think that's a little rude. Unfortunately, we never get to fight him. He's the one who created Big Boy, and instead of fighting the Duke, we have to fight Big Boy. But luckily, we have paintings, and so we're going to look at some art about it. For those of you who don't like spiders or snakes, maybe look away until we leave this room, because there's some realistic paintings of them. All right,
For
gonna
those
put
of
the
you who
sheep
do
here.
like spiders and snakes, that was really cool painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're done looking at the animals. Now we're gonna look at this animation for a little bit too long, and then I'm gonna do the only strategic reset that I know in this game. Because there's something funny that happens when Rose reads text. She just gets pulled into it and stuck there forever, and so rather than sitting there for a good 30 seconds to a minute while she contemplates existence and what words are, I reset while the key gets teleported into my pocket so I can leave. Luckily, this is a very important key. It gives me access to my best friend, the shotgun, and also a very important room where we will take our only tactical death of the run.
Has friendship been ended with Bolt Cutter Chan and Shotgun is now new best friend?
Yeah, friendship ended with bolt cutters. Friendship began with shotgun. The rumor come out.
This should make things easier.
All right. So we've got our triocular key. We've got our shotgun. Headphone users beware. There's going to be a lot of screaming in this room. I'm sorry in advance, but we got to do it because taking this death lowers our DA. What is DA, you might be asking? Luckily, we've got a few moments here while we slowly die to explain what that is. Resident Evil games are notorious for difficulty adjustment. The game automatically tailors itself to how well or poorly you're playing, and it bases that judgment call off of things like how much damage you take, how many shots you fire, how much health you have in your inventory as well as on your person, those sorts of things. And so if you take a strategic death in just the right place that loads you right back in like we did right there, it lowers our difficulty adjustment to a point where the enemies in the next room are a little bit easier to manage. The boss fights become more tolerable, and the RNG of the game just becomes a lot more predictable. Otherwise, as you go, the better you play, it would be effectively punishing you for that.
That's really fascinating, actually. I did not know that these games do that.
Yeah,
wild.
that mechanic was introduced with Resident Evil 2 Remake, so it really only impacts the games that are made on Resident Evil Engine. So, like, all of the remakes, 7, 8, and 9, I assume, will have difficulty adjustment as well. It's a very pervasive mechanic. I think it's super cool casually, but for a speed run, it can be less than ideal.
Right, like if you really want a challenge.
Yeah. I've tried doing this category without lowering my DA, and it is pain and suffering. So I do it every time now, even though it's slower. All right, we've got all 3 masks, which means we can go. But unfortunately, the Duke is a bit of a jerk, and he's thrown us back into the wine cellar.
Swallowed right up if you don't hurry.
Why? Because he can. But we're out here. I have to burst his bubble. These are fixed spawn, so they're always going to be in the same place every time.
Still not done?
Are you ready for the grand finale?
All right. Now we just got to get out of this wine cellar, attach things to the statue, specifically all 3 masks, and then fight our first boss, which means we got a little bit of walking ahead of us. If there's anything you would like to share with chat, now's a good chance for it.
Yes, I would like to remind everybody that we still have an incentive open. We have a ways to go on it. We are looking to unlock that bonus game, the Retro Game Challenge to the bonus Super Demon Returns speedrun. We are looking for $200 to unlock that, and we do not have any donations towards that so far. So just a reminder that when you're getting your donations in to True Colors United, that you can put them towards both an incentive and a bid war. Power with Pride is really cool like that. So please get those donations in if you can afford to do so. True Colors United is a really, really amazing cause. And remember, you could put them both towards that incentive and towards either of our bid wars that we have open right now. The Fear the Spotlight, Choose Your Character, which is neck and neck between Amy's chapter and Vivian's chapter, and the Typing of the Dead to Choose Your Backpack. Look, I just have to read the options for the backpack, okay?
Please do. Please do.
Play Freebird! Exclamation point. Default Dreamcast, Bodacious Big Sword, or Payphone. I honestly can't tell you which one is better. Like, they're all amazing. You can't go wrong.
I don't know. Play Freebird speaks to me. I think I might be rooting for that one.
Not payphone after all that wood. Default Dreamcast. Oh wait, because it probably came out on the Dreamcast. So the backpack probably actually looks like the Dreamcast. Oh my gosh.
Uglier now.
Welcome to the first boss fight.
Thanks, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we're super happy. I gotta dodge real quick. Blast him again, and hopefully I will get a quick kill. There we go, that was the quick kill.
Is he dead?
So that's phase 1. There are 3 cycles to this fight. The first one is the hardest, so as long as we don't waffle things up too much here, we should be in the clear.
Time to shake things up.
Time. It's not time for waffles.
How dare you! I got waffled.
I guess it's always time for waffles.
Did you spawn behind me already? You did! Okay, that actually... We're innovating on the fly, gamers. I needed this to happen.
Go.
Beautiful! Okay, we restock here. Luckily, dealing with him there is optimal because we need the time to have all of this dissipate. And he has a really long death animation anyway, and so we can overlap this sequence.
Don't let her get away with that.
Beautiful, iconic, legendary. We're going into the final loop of the fight. If we get this right, it will only be 3 or maybe 4 shots on him. He's gonna yell. One, 2, 3. It's gonna make him do the 4th, and that's the fight. That was a pretty good fight. Luckily, that was the hardest fight in the entire run. The next section, we're not even going to get to use our weapons for. I'm going to reload everything preemptively for the 3rd chapter of the game, when we will need our guns again. But for now, I have a very important question for you, Sporadic. How do you feel about dolls?
You know, it really depends on the doll, but I'm guessing it's gonna be like a really creepy doll because this is a creepy game. So,
Okay.
you know, I'm gonna say no, thank you.
Okay, okay. What if there were a gaggle of 30 to 50 feral dolls on your lawn? What would you do?
I would hope that they were very flammable. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have the power of flamethrower in here, but we are going to be interacting with quite a few dolls. Some of them will be interacting with us. Some of them will simply be standing around menacingly. So this is your content warning. Doll enjoyers, show up, say hi. Doll not enjoyers, hi. I'll talk to you in about 5 to 10 minutes when we reach the 3rd act of the game.
I mean, if you're a doll enjoyer, you're gonna be sad because there's a lot of doll destruction.
No, there's shockingly little doll destruction.
Okay. alright,
Unless you're
fair.
talking about the destruction I feel in terms of my heart when I look at these scary dolls. In which
Yeah,
case,
wait,
there's
are
gonna
we
be a
talking
lot of
about
that.
those, like, stuffed animal monkeys? Like,
Oh, don't worry about the monkeys. Don't worry about it.
is there any drop kicking? I feel that drop kicking is kind of the.
Ooh. You know, drop kicking. I feel like they would need to add a jump button to this game in order to achieve a drop kick. But I can say that there will be some very interesting combat at the end of this section, given the fact that we don't have guns. Chatters, donors, please put your predictions in your messages. Let us know how you predict the combat to go. I would love to hear that.
I would love to hear that too. Though we do have a lovely donation here. Do we have time to read it?
Hit me with it.
Yeah, rename James sent in $50 without a comment. Again, just generosity for True Colors United. Thank you so much. That also went towards unlocking our incentive for the Retro Game Challenge to the bonus Super Demon Return speedrun, putting us a quarter of the way there. Just like that. We only need $150 more to unlock that. I hope we can do it by the end of this horror block. I'm just gonna have a quick look at the other incentives as well, at the bid wars, to see, because it can go in either direction. Looks like it went to that incentive, but not towards one of the bid wars. So just a reminder, you can also put your donation towards a bid war when you put it towards an incentive. Not that you have to.
Someone
It's
really
just-
went all out.
It's a donate one, get one deal. You get to
It's like
donate
a
towards
donate
the bid
one-
war and the incentive.
You like get two free. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
All right, we're on our doll collection journey. We're on our quest to become the person with the curio cabinet. You know the one. But first we have to assemble our collection. Say hi to Mommy. She's here to support us. She's our emotional support mannequin.
Hi.
So you want me to play with dolls?
So, TLDR, the narrative that we're reenacting with these dolls reflects Rosa's story at her high school and the ways that she has been mistreated by her peers. This section is really sad, but
I get
the
it.
most important part here is my favorite part of the run. And folks who know me will know that I appreciate good scenery. And my favorite scenery in the game is down here at the bottom of this well. Just trust me on this.
I mean, is there like extra mold? Like,
No, this is where we keep Jimmy.
oh, okay.
Jimmy
Oh,
lives
you-
at the bottom of the well, and
you
we're
know.
just a lassie going to get him. Look at that. Just a nightstand at the bottom of a well. Why? Whoomps. Whoomst. I want to talk to the interior decorator of this place.
You know,
Everyone say hi to Mommy.
Put your
way.
glasses and your cup of water before you
Yeah.
go to sleep on the floor of the well, as you do.
As you do, perfectly normal things in a Resident Evil game. We have 3 dolls currently, which means we need to go activate the 3-doll puzzle to get our 4th doll. I'm pointing out the 4th doll because the 4th doll is a throwback to Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 enjoyers rise up because you might recognize this one as a very special doll that looks like a very special girl who we're going to see in a little bit. Maybe you'll recognize her voice. I don't want to say too much, but you know, it might be Evelyn. Oops, I said too much.
We breaking the 4th doll in this game?
We're breaking the 4th doll. Here she is. Oh, she looks just like us, the blonde doll, but like with different hair. Imagine. I wonder what that could mean. Symbolism. Anyways, we have 4 dolls now, which means we'll get to solve the final puzzle. There's a jump scare behind this door. Do not panic. Say hi to Mommy.
I do like that as a jump scare, though, you know, because that's the kind of jump scare that happens in real life. If somebody...
You just walk into someone who's silently trudging down the hall at you.
like the mannequin, you know?
Yeah. Oh, she's inside the room now. It's always so unsettling.
I feel like that happens. Like, as somebody who's done some sewing and has, like, a sewing form, you know, sometimes you jump scare yourself.
Seriously.
Yeah. Anyone with a cardboard cutout knows that truth. All right, we have to answer a call about our extended warranty. So if there's anything you would like to share with chat, now's a phenomenal time.
I would like to update everybody on the incentive that we are looking to unlock here. I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
Who are
The
you?
retro game challenge to bonus super demon return speedrun. We're still looking for $150 to unlock that, so please do keep your donations coming in. for True Colors United,
I would love to see it.
I would love to talk more about True Colors United if there's time for it. Is there?
Please do. We're gonna be walking around.
All right, all right. True Colors United implements innovative solutions to youth homelessness that focus on the unique experiences of LGBTQ plus young people. LGBTQ plus youth are 120% more likely to face homelessness than their peers, while Black youth are 83% and Latino youth are 33% more likely. True Colors United is guided by two core beliefs. Those who've experienced an issue firsthand hold the keys to the solution, and improving outcomes for the most impacted communities benefits everyone. It really, really is a fantastic cause we're here raising funds for today. So if you can donate, please consider doing so.
Jesus Christ!
So you might notice that Mommy is a little bit more active than she was previously. Luckily, I can just 360 no-scope her, and she gets out of the way instead of forcing us to run around. So you might notice I'm just gonna run up to her. I'm gonna hit her with the spinneroonie. She's gonna take a single step forward, if I do it right. And then we'll just be able to get around her. Beautiful. Unfortunately, it does not get better. If you think that is the end of the dolls, I would like to welcome you to the Little Nightmares section of the game.
Poor little Rose. I'm waiting for you in the back.
Because we are quite small.
You know, someone has a hobby that they enjoy a lot.
Mm-hmm. They've curated quite the collection of friends.
Guess
Yeah.
I should keep heading this way.
I do want to give folks fair warning. Mommy is still here, and we are small, but she is not. So, keep your eyes peeled. We're gonna see her soon.
Wherever could little Rose be?
But first, we have to clear the path to go say hi. I mentioned that the first boss is the hardest part of the game. That does not mean it's the most dangerous part of the game. Big Mommy section here is the most dangerous part of the game because I will be using several YOLO strats with her. You might be wondering, Big, what does that mean? That means I'm going to hope that I'm fast enough. Because otherwise, it is quite substantial time loss to loop her around a room, wait for her to notice you. We're gonna bait her aggression and hope it works for us.
Something I can do.
I mean, it feels very in the spirit of the game, so...
Mm-hmm. All right, we've got a couple more rooms to navigate before we get in there. I'm gonna attempt a skip here. If I nail this skip, this will be the first time I've ever done it, and we can clap super hard. If I don't nail it, we'll have enough time to get right back on cycle. I did not nail it, but we have enough time to get back on cycle. No time lost. And boom. The important part is lining up these two dolls. If you miss that window, you can't walk behind this one, and you can't do the intended path for this puzzle. It's very important that you hide under here because dolls will be swarming from both sides. And if they catch you, that's pretty big time loss. What I was trying to do with the skip there was there's a tiny point where you can access that bulb through the doll, but it's very tricky. Everyone say hi to Big Mommy. I'm just gonna
You know
YOLO.
what happens to little girls who can't play nice, don't you? They get punished.
Perfect.
No
All right.
way.
We're not out of the woods. We have to encounter her one more time with significance, and it is the tougher section. How did you find me? You were nowhere near me, you hater. Did she give up?
I think the bedroom is.
I can't tell if she
just
gave
over
up.
there.
She didn't. She gave up. Nice. Perfect. All right. Got it. I'm running. Oh, that was beautiful. Okay, so that could have gone very wrong. The easy indicator to know if you did that wrong is if the light she's shining turns red. Then she's gonna start Naruto running at you, and you have to skedaddle as fast as you can behind a table in the other room that is not accessible unless you can burst that bulb. So getting that particular YOLO skip is very, very important, and I'm super glad we got that. We're in our big chase sequence. Once we are through the chase sequence, we will be done with dolls. But for now, we're going to be taunted by very large faces that are, quite frankly, jerks. I want to talk directly to anyone in chat that has dealt with bullies. They're haters. They're wrong. You're perfect the way you are, and they need to do better. Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect.
Well said. Well said.
Shut up! Michael!
Anyways, we're back here in the memory of my parents' house. Interesting. Interesting that we're here at the Winters family home, which is a place that Rose probably wouldn't remember with any accuracy. I mentioned earlier that we went into the mold dimension that remembers everything. I want to point out the magical gold writing that has been helping us this entire time. Because for plot reasons, maybe that's my dad? I don't know. It'd be cool if the mold remembered him. Maybe we'd get to see his face. Anyways, enough thinking about my dad. It's time to fight the boss of this area. It's Evelyn from Resident Evil 7. This is a super cool callback to the first of the two Ethan Winters games. For those of you who don't know, Evelyn was the first. She was the first magical moldy girl. Unfortunately, she was a perma-child and she had no emotional maturity, and the way she went about finding family was not consensual. And unfortunately, she's just sort of here as a memory. So she's meaner than she was last time. Better or worse, we have to deal with her. We're gonna use another goo strat here because Evelyn likes her dolls, and if you try to go around the goo here, she sends 3 to 4 waves of dolls to do this to you and hauls you back into the goo every time. But if you simply trudge through it, it's 2 waves of dolls reliably every time, and you still have enough time to get out the other side, and there's a heal waiting for you, so it's not even a big deal.
Where do you think you Oh, look! Your family!
A flock of mommies are coming at me. I mean that because there's a bunch of mannequins running down the hall. They all look like my mother, Mia. Don't worry about it. This is completely normal Resident Evil things. And onward we go. The Evelyn fight is what's waiting for us at the top of this elevator. I love this fight because it is extremely cycle-based. If you know what to expect, you know exactly how to counter her, you know exactly how many times she's going to do her blasts, and you know exactly where she's going to spawn. The important part is not standing up too soon, because if you stand up too soon, she will knock you off center, which will put you off cycle, which is the biggest time loss in this fight. We got our next pickup there, which doesn't give us a new ability. It just gives us an extra pip on our bar, but that's really what we need here, because Evelyn is a stinky baby, and she's going to be tooting at us. She bursts in 1s and 3s. Between bursts, I'm going to aggravate her, at which point I'll be able to hit her with a powerful palm from a distance. She's gonna spawn over here, do 1 blast. She's gonna spawn over here and do 3 blasts. I'll be able to blast back. She's gonna spawn behind me and do a single blast. Then she'll spawn to my right over here and do the triple. Then I'll be able to blast back.
If you'd never been born, it would have been.
You'll notice that I'm targeting her before she attacks. That's to aggro her. On casual difficulty, she will stand there and taunt you for a few seconds before attacking. And so if you target her before she targets you, that speeds up that cycle and she'll start attacking you while she's still monologuing. In this phase of the fight, she's at the top of the stairs. We have to get access to her. There's 2 nodes that we burst. Because I did the one before her attack cycle, that gives us enough time to get up here. She's gonna monologue until the magical yellow text appears on this banister. It's gonna give us a pep talk. Then she's gonna burst 3 times, and we're gonna get faked out. Now this is the final cycle of the fight. She's gonna burst 3 times, and we're gonna get help from our friend. As you should in all times of need. And that's the Evelyn boss fight.
Nice.
Act 2 of the game is done. Doll not enjoyers, welcome back. It's good to see you again. Good news, we have guns.
I'm on my own, but I have to keep going.
Good news again. We're gonna be walking a fair bit across this snow-covered village. So, you have until we get to the big, meaty bulb on the other side of this run. Sporadic, hit me with whatever you got.
First of all, I was just piecing together the reason we didn't have any guns is because she was passed out, right? That's what was going on.
Yes. She was
Alright.
eepy.
All right, I just had to confirm that, and now I want to tell everybody this is Power Up with Pride 2025 running all this weekend. If you missed any runs in the marathon so far, you can find them uploaded after the marathon on our YouTube channel. You can also stay up to date on this event and any future events by following us on Blue Sky or Mastodon, kind.social, or by joining our Discord. Links to all of these can be found in the panels below the stream or by using !social in the chat.
Shout out to the socials team, by the way. Y'all been killing it all day.
Yeah,
And I'm
very,
so
very-
excited to
yeah.
see what you cook up for the rest of the marathon.
And if we have time, I'll remind everybody we don't actually have a whole lot of time. We just have until the end of this run and the next run, which is a short one, for the bid war to choose a winner. And Amy and Vivian's chapters are neck and neck.
To find that crystal.
So please get your donations in for True Colors United, and please choose one of those. Reminder that Vivian's is more physical horror, and you said the less scary one, right? And Amy's is more psychological horror and is terrifying.
In my opinion, the Vivian run is much more puzzly, and whereas the Amy one is much more like running and hiding and scary. But they are both fantastic, and they are both scary in their own right.
I mean, yeah, there's no wrong choice.
No wrong choices in Fear the Spotlight. They are both phenomenal campaigns.
A choice must be made.
I know.
There's that feeling again. It's so
All right.
strong.
I mentioned
Must
the
be
whole
the
reason we're here is to get rid of our magical moldy girl powers. We have essentially become unstoppable. And at the top of this stairwell is the crystal that will take all that away. And somehow Rose is pumped about that, but we're gonna go touch it anyway because the story wants us to. At which point we will meet the final boss of the game, which is also the final boss of the main game, Mother Miranda.
This one's the real.
TLDR, if you've never played a Resident Evil, the only thing you need to know is Mother Miranda did it. That's it. That's all you need to know. And also my ghost dad, Ethan Winters, is here. Everyone say hi to Ethan.
Ethan.
He's beautiful. Unfortunately, because Capcom has a really good sense of humor, and their shtick with Ethan is that he's a faceless protagonist, we're never gonna get a clear look at his face. Not even in the cutscenes. I'm sorry, chat. But what we do get is a very nice moment to save our ghost dad from the evil lady that's holding him here in the mold dimension. And in order to do that, we have to realize that the gift he gave us of the magical moldy girl powers is the very thing we need to save him and ourselves. And so at the end of this run, we're effectively going to reach into Mother Miranda's pocket, take back, oh, not that, take back our powers, and engage in the most epic boss fight of the game. The cool thing is that the crystal that we thought would strip us of our abilities gives us one final skill that we have only for this boss fight. And it is something that I lovingly refer to as tree.
Your powers will allow you to stand against
Let me
the
demonstrate.
heart of my domain.
Behold tree.
How intent you were on
We can summon massive shoots of mold from the ground that are tree-like in structure. And I'm gonna use those effectively to stun lock her in place, or in some variation of close to in place. And hopefully we're gonna skip all of her cycles. Oh, that one whiffed, but that's alright. We have enough to continue.
What would be the point? You can save your father. You
Girl,
are
stop
too
moving.
different.
I need to smack you with this.
Let's start this.
Alright. I'm gonna eat this last herb.
What is this?
The most important cycle to skip is this one.
It took so much to lure me.
Because if you don't knock her out of this cycle, she takes you into a darkness dimension where she literally starts swimming in the floor of the arena, and she jump scare attacks you up to 4 times. And it's incredibly time consuming. It's not fun to deal with. Unfortunately, I don't have enough herb to skip the final cycle of her fight, which means we're gonna get to see the mold fountain. Who's excited to see the mold fountain? I know you're stoked.
Says the wicked witch at the end of her reign.
I was hoping you were gonna say that the bonus attack is like the Super Mold 5000, but Mold Tree is also excellent.
The only one who understands.
If it was Super Mold 5000, that would be incredible, but I think that's her. I think that's Miranda's final ability. You'll see what I mean when we get there. Girl, stop shooting goo at me. I need you to fire a single orange orb at me. Thank you.
You just won't give up.
Okay, perfect. She's gonna do the
You
thing.
really are. That stubborn love that shines inside
All right, girl, let's end
makes
this.
you the perfect vessel.
All right, after this cycle of 5 bullets, she will go up and she'll say some variation of, I shall finish this. And then she's gonna take us into Bloodborne.
You possess such power.
I wasn't
I
ready.
shall finish this.
Beautiful. This is the very last section of the fight. She's gonna launch a bunch of stuff at us. It's gonna prompt us to heal. I'm gonna ignore it, at which point I'm gonna hit her with one final tree. Then she's gonna monologue while I slap her in the face. Time will be the moment her monologue ends and the cutscene begins. So, while the yappening happens, I just want to take a moment to thank everyone here in chat, everyone joining us here on Power Up with Pride, and you, Sporadic, for joining me today on this journey in the magical moldy wonderland. I hope you all embrace your magical moldy powers and become the beautiful person that you were always meant to be. Time will be happening any moment now. There's time.
GG. Thank you for taking me on Mr. Mold's wild ride.
Yeah, Mr. Mold's Wild Ride. Luckily, this game is done in-game time for the board, which is a 50:45. That is a whopping 11 seconds over my PB. Phenomenal run.
Hey,
I'm so
let's
glad to have
go.
showcased it here.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you, thank you. Folks, if you don't know where to find me, I'm Big Scared. I live on the Twitch as Big Scared, or in other places on the internet as Big Scared, or I'm Big Scared with no spaces or punctuation. You can also catch me over in the Binary Breakers community. For those of you who have never heard of us, we're a community for folks who are between, within, outside of the gender binary, specifically for folks in competitive gaming events, speed runs, brackets, bingos, randos. wherever your flavor, volunteers too. Come talk to us. We would love, love, love to hear from you. I'm also over at the Clock Tower stream team, which is a horror-focused stream team. So if you love horror, love to talk to you anyways. Yeah, you know where to find me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for that incredible run of Resident Evil Village. Everybody stick around. Don't go anywhere. We have plenty more horror block coming right the hecky up. Hey everybody, if you're just joining us, welcome to Power Up with Pride 2025. We are here raising funds for True Colors United, and you have landed smack dab in the middle of our Friday the 13th horror block. Well, I say in the middle, but we have 3 entire runs coming up, so you're a quarter of the way? Anyway, please stick around. They're going to be fantastic. As you can see, Peace Egg is going to be bringing you the Cabin Factory ASAP. And y'all were very generous. We met the incentive for that particular run, so we're gonna be looking at some kitties. Please stick around for the kitties. Friends, you're watching Power Up with Pride 2025 here on Twitch. We're running from June 13th through June 15th, about 16 hours each day. We're benefiting True Colors United. Find out more about them. You can find the link to their site in the panels below the stream, or use !charity in chat. If you're interested in donating, you can type !donate in chat. Find the schedule by using !schedule, or see the incentives with !incentives. And speaking of incentives, we are still looking to unlock that Retro Game Challenge 2 bonus Super Demon Returns speedrun. Would be amazing if we could unlock that by the end of the night. We're looking for $200. We're already $50 in, so we only need $150 more. We also have a bid war open for the run coming up directly after the Cabin Factory, the Fear the Spotlight run. To choose the chapter that is played, you're gonna choose like the entire speedrun. And that's based on which character's chapter you would like to see. They are currently neck and neck. Amy's chapter and Vivian's chapter tied at $95 each. It would not take much to break that tie. In fact, we would like to see the tie broken because a chapter must be chosen. So if you need to know a little bit more, when you're getting your donation in for True Colors United and you're trying to pick which one of those chapters to put your donation towards in the bid war, Vivian's chapter is a more kind of physical horror chapter, and Amy's is more psychological horror. So how do you want to get freaked out? Please, vote with your donation. Now, if you want to put your donation towards something a little bit sillier, we also have a bid war open for the last run of the evening, the Typing of the Dead. Choose your backpack. I really can't get over the names of these backpacks. We have no donations towards this whatsoever, so whatever you donate, that is going to leap into the lead. Now, the names of the backpacks we have are Play Freebird, Default Dreamcast, Bodacious Big Sword, and Payphone. So, feel free, please do, snipe the ever-loving heck out of that. I have some great news for y'all. Peace Egg is ready to go, so everybody, please hang around very, very soon. It's gonna be the Cabin Factory, all cabins. Coming right up.